Okie doke. I've went ahead and have gone live. Everybody let me know if we're loud enough.
And Cinewin just did a nice little punny joke for us. What's the first thing bats learn in school?
The alphabet. Oh, I like that.
So I used to have a poster. It was the alphabet, but it was a play on the baseball bat.
Ah.
And every image was the letters were all shapes made out of baseball players and bats.
Jonathan had a great suggestion, saying that they said that would make a great anti-joke when translated into other languages.
So
100%. It's like the famous, like, what was it? The dog walks into the bar and can't see anything, so he opens one. Is that it? It's like the world's oldest joke.
Maybe.
And it was a pun. Because like something is has the same sound as the word for the eye.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Opens one, opens eye.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was it, the Sumerian dog joke. Okay, let's see what we can see. Looks like Safari is up. Yep, good. How about Font Lab? Font Lab is up. Good. And now the fun part of the day begins.
Oh, the adjustment. Yeah, we still need to. Every week we forget after the stream that we mean to be looking for a proper thing.
And putting this on has gotten difficult with this model of iPhone because there's a button on the side that opens the camera.
And it's kind of in a place where you need the little grippy.
All right, now we're going to adjust this around. Whoa. What the heck was that?
Is that your arm?
Is it upside down? How is it upside down?
I have no idea how it's seeing what it's seeing right now. It's a little tilted.
Well, it is a little tilted, but it's also upside.
Like you're.
No, wait. There we go.
You're seeing the.
There we go.
The tail end of our little deer.
Yeah. There we go.
For how your phone is angled, this is so bizarre.
It is indeed. Okay. Ha! Look at that. Look at that. Incredible. Okay. Oh.
Okay. I have the keywords that I need to search now.
Okay. By the way, your camera is slightly off.
I'll just do that and hope that worked.
Yeah.
But yeah, I now have the keywords to search, and we are absolutely for next week getting a new one.
All right.
Oh my goodness, we could even get a ring light. Do we need a ring light?
No, remember we had one.
No, it would go above your camera to highlight whatever you're doing as a document.
Oh, as far as I know, no. It seems it's pretty good. Okay. All right, I am all set to do the polls. Let's do that
Okay.
quickly.
Yes.
All right.
I'll stop looking at all the options we have.
Oh, no, you go ahead. So this week's poll, remember we were going to talk about the form for the mosquito glyph, which was mb. And it's a very well done mosquito, but I was having trouble coming up with glyph-like options for it. Eventually we settled on 5, and you can see them here. And then like they're smaller here. And now we're going to go over them. So the first one is one that essentially looks like a great big MJ. Boop, boop, boop. That's the body. And that's kind of like the legs there. The next one I call Valerian and because it looks like the glyph for and in Valerian, which is that. And then there's this one that I called that awful bug I saw in kindergarten that I swear was real. It had a kind of green suction cup hanging below its abdomen, and it was advancing upon me. I saw it in the backyard at my Armenian grandmother's house, and yeah, it was like it was walking towards me with this huge green suction cup underneath it, and I ran into the house. And I told everybody about it. When they went out there, it was gone.
I just wanted you.
Yeah, it looked like a daddy long legs with a huge green suction cup beneath it.
As a side note,
Yeah.
I think Anime Fan may have had a birthday. So happy birthday.
Ooh, birthday, yay!
Go on.
Though in point of fact, I'm also older than I was last week.
I'm not. I stay the same age.
Very sorry.
Bless you.
Very sorry. Okay,
That was a good sneeze for you.
Thank you. Okay, so that was option C. Option D was very, very simplified. The whole body of the entire thing just got turned into one of these bumps, and then that was essentially the pointiness of it, just the circumflex. And then this one, option E, very similar to K. K has a line that goes down and then up through. This one gets rid of the up line and replaces it with a circumflex. I thought that one kind of looked like your original drawing. But yeah, so those were the options A, B, C, D, and E. And the result was clear, very clear.
Did we get a lot of votes? A lot of people in chat are like, "Oh, dang, I didn't vote."
I know. Well, it's my fault.
No, listen, like, it's been a time.
We got enough.
We got enough? Okay. Are
very
we happy?
few people voted for E.
Very few?
It was kind of like a stair scale. Like almost nobody voted for E, and I don't understand why.
I'm actually very surprised because
Yeah, E was kind of my
that
favorite.
invokes the little legs and then a body kind of hanging down.
Yeah,
it
this
sort of
really-
invokes everything.
This really looks like the mosquitoes. Like, I don't get why people didn't like that. But essentially, it kind of like went up like this. The top two vote getters were the top two. And the result was indeed clear and does not make Jonathan happy.
Oh, no.
Option A was the big winner, the MJ.
Oh, so Madeline is ecstatic.
Mm-hmm. That's
And Jonathan is not so much.
Yes.
I'm actually quite happy though because in talking to David last night, as we were going over all of the images, I was least comfortable with the angled options. Not because the glyphs themselves have anything wrong with them. They are wonderful glyphs for other systems, but they just didn't feel like they fit with the font face that is being designed for this system. So I feel like they would have been straightened out to fit into this overall font anyway. So anyway, I was not ecstatic about those for the bats. And I want to make sure I'm making that clear that it's just for the bats, because if this were any other writing system, especially if we had more than one angled glyph in the overall system, I think those were really, really good options.
Jonathan, by the way, said no reasonable person would vote for option A, which was the winner. So
welcome all you unreasonable folks. We appreciate you all, because I liked that one.
Yeah,
It wasn't my favorite. I think
think E.
E was my favorite,
Yeah,
which got the
which
least.
got the least.
So yeah,
Absolutely
E
the
was
least.
the one I was kind of going for because it brings back the little hat. It gives it
Yeah.
another use. And
Yeah, E was really good.
it's got the legs.
Yeah, unfortunately it is not to be. So we're going to put these in yellow,
Yellow.
and then that goes on MB, which is that one.
Should I call you a yellow-bellied suction-cupped insect?
Okay, there we go. One more just kind of piece of Polish business to ask.
Oh,
Yeah,
2 L's in that Polish.
yeah,
I was like, what?
yeah, I know. I was looking at this one. This is the one that was based on the flying squirrel. And more Norwegian boy stories. But I was wondering what people thought of comparing this original square version of the flying squirrel to this rounded version of the flying squirrel. And just to make it clear, we're talking about this versus that. So yeah, I was just wondering what people thought. Which flying squirrel do you prefer? Rounded top, square bottom. I'm going to take this time to...
Oh, right. I zoned out for a second. I'm sorry. I know we're doing rounded top versus square bottom. It's always a fun distinction to be making. Should always ask a Dutchman if you want expert advice on subtlety and tact. Gosh, I'm rewatching Ted Lasso, and the Jan Moss jokes are just incredible. Oh, I should also get my...
Is it true that our Patrick was invented in SpongeBob SquarePants, like for it?
I think our Patrick created.
Nikolai, I swear that it was the it looked like a daddy long leg, so it wasn't super long. It may have been green. It was bright out. Gave me the suction cup was green, but it was like yellowish or
Yeah, the last
brownish.
page of notes that I started for my LangTime notebook was on August 1st, and it was just LangTime chat. What to do?
Nice. Well, that's pretty clear. It looks like folks like the rounded version. So we'll go ahead and make that change as well. That's nice. It's very, very Euro aesthetic. Okay. All right, so that is that. Now we are going to attempt to get Jesse's screen.
Oh, shoot. Right. Dang it. We need to do this beforehand because it's going to echo. I've got to get all my settings.
Yes. Ask to share screen.
And at some point, they're going to pull us for violating.
How did
Okay. No?
you have to mute your input. Did you mute your input?
Okay, everything's muted.
What the heck?
I don't know. Like literally everything is muted. My input's muted. My output's muted. I muted the call. Like I pushed every mute button that I had available to me.
Well, I did another thing. Let's give it another shot. You ready? Okay.
I always gotta.
Trying that.
Okay.
Yeah, that seemed to work.
Were you not muted after all that?
No, I muted you.
Okay. But like you didn't mute the phone call, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I muted you.
On the phone call.
Yes.
You had to mute the phone call, which is what I had just asked if you had done.
I muted my everything else. I figured that was good.
Goodness. Okay. Now I have to get back to the sharing thing because I moved past that because otherwise okay. I had to like it immediately goes to that share thing. And then I have to get out of that window to get to the place where I can mute the call. And then I have to go back so I can share the thing. So yeah, we really need to remember to do that before a stream starts if we're going to be sharing my screen.
Your screen is in a different spot now. And we see the thumbnails. Why is that?
This is where my screen normally is, and I have to see the thumbnails because that's how I get through the document, so I don't understand.
Yeah, but they don't need to see the thumbnails. Can you scroll to some text? Huh. Well, that is peculiar. All right. Okay, you take it from here.
Oh, you may not have wanted to have scrolled that far over. Just a second, I'm moving around the document. No, I think we can still see. We're right on the edge there, but we're still good. We're still good. Okay. That okay. Oh. Yeah, there are too many mutable things, and then I have to remember afterwards I have to unmute everything because especially the input volume, because then, you know, we use our computers for things like Zoom calls, and it's like, I kind of need that on. And Mateus, are we still out of sync? Or was that just like a momentary crazy thing with all the echoing and having 5 of our voices? And then I also don't remember. Okay. Okay, Jonathan is saying we never seemed out of sync, but Mateus is saying I am still out of sync. David is not.
Well, Mateus, you also pronounced Angma at every opportunity, so this could be a you thing. By the way,
maybe if I just like talk with my hand over my mouth like this, nobody will ever know when I'm in or out of sync. True. You see.
What are you talking about? Maybe too far over to the left. It's perfect.
Did you not listen to me?
Well, you said, I think that's all right.
I said I needed to check because I was in a section where everything was bulleted in and indented bulleted in. And so I needed to get to a space where there was actually text against the left.
All right, well.
And then I said, oh, there it is. And it looks like we're okay.
Yeah. All right. So.
I feel like I had given up when we hit a point where I was like, there's too many tables and my brain can't comprehend what we're doing anymore.
There was a fire star or something that was really cool that you came up with, and
Oh, it required recording, making new words, and
Yeah.
I'm not to that stage for myself right now. So if you want to join me for that, we
I've
can
got
do
all
that.
these white spots on this. Have you seen this?
I've got the wrong glasses on to see, but
I don't know how this happened. It's like somebody spilled powdered sugar on me.
did you spill powdered sugar? Is that what you did while you were over there? Did you break into our powdered sugar?
I wish I had. It's
Throw it in the air like a little snowstorm.
I don't think we told everybody about our beignet in New Orleans.
Well, that was funny. I'm apparently out of sync for Mads as well, so I think whatever this call did put me off.
Just you, not me.
Just me.
Test.
Did you? I think you were the one that took photos of the beignet incident.
Oh yeah, I did.
So to set this up, David and I are in New Orleans, and we were walking from where our hotel is, which is,
Yes.
it was, close to, like in the French Quarter area. And so we were walking from the hotel to, what arena do they play in? Where the Pelicans play.
Smoothie King.
Smoothie King Arena.
Which is so funny to me.
And so we were walking there, which takes you kind of on a nice jaunt. It's kind of a longer walk, but you get to, walk by all these things. And we decided for this long walk, we would stop and get some beignets along the way, but like walk with them because, it's like we didn't have a ton of time before the game, but we had enough time to stop and get beignets. So we get the beignets and then we take them out to continue our walk. There's a slight breeze, which we had not accounted for and probably didn't even feel before that. Like we probably weren't even aware of the breeze before having an entire thing full of powdered sugar in our hands as we walked. And did I end up sneezing or something? I don't even remember what happened. Or I blew out, like something happened with the breeze. I think some got in my face and I kind of like did a thing. But I was holding the beignet too close, and anyway, I ended up being showered with powdered sugar. It just whoosh, all over me.
I think this is going to be the best way to share this photo.
I'm waiting to see how.
It's a LangTime photo too.
Oh, it is a LangTime photo. But yeah, you can see all those white sprinkles. That is not supposed to be there. And that actually doesn't look too bad in the photo. In real life, it was definitely like you can kind of see some on my face too.
Yeah.
I was wearing powdered sugar. It was everywhere.
Thankfully, we weren't close to the arena yet, so it was a good walk. There was enough time to kind of like...
To brush off.
Yeah.
And I definitely used that time. We learned our lesson and kind of stopped when we needed to take a bite, we would stop. Mm-hmm. And all those white specks, it's everywhere. And it's funny because it's like that t-shirt design is sort of that heathered coloration. So some of the speckles almost look like they could just be the t-shirt, but I promise you they're not. And in fact, the heathered coloration is all dark. So if the speckles are all like a dark gray or black rather than a white. So anything that is at all white specklish on there is powdered sugar. And David was just laughing up a storm. It was a riot for him.
There were 3 photos, and they're all really good, but I thought this was the best looking.
It was hilarious. And then, of course, my mouth is full of beignet and powdered sugar, so I can't laugh.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what, like, my body's trying to do, is, like, to have this big laugh, but I can't because I know that I'm just already in a mess. And so,
Excellent.
yeah. No, I love that shirt. It's one of my favorites, and the only reason I don't wear it even more than I already do is that, you know, the design starts to get wash worn, and it's starting to get that way, and I'm trying to preserve it as much as possible because it is, I think it's my favorite t-shirt.
Oh.
If it's not my favorite, it's like top 2. I'm trying to like leave the door open in case there's one I'm not thinking of right now in this moment, but like I love that t-shirt. David did a great job on that design.
Okie doke. Next up, everybody, I think I'm gonna tackle the moth. So the moth, you'll remember, had kind of like this thing going on, and then kind of like a body like that, and then it was out like that. I think, yeah, there it was. See that? Okay, so what it had was more of a that type of thing, and then that type of thing. All right, so this is the moth, and these little antennae, they can be ignored or they can become a feature of the thing. So for example, that could be a little chevron, which we don't have yet. We have a circumflex above. Wow, I didn't do that well. But anyway, circumflex above there.
My word, if everyone can't hear, we are being visited by a very loud
And then we have an
helicopter.
M glyph with this underneath. So we do have that shape. It would just be up top. So, for example, something like, start there, and then what would happen to that? Because that's pretty. It's kind of interesting. Like that's totally wacky. Like you couldn't do that. Something like that, could you? I mean, other option is something like that, which could get simplified to something like that. Could have turned into an upside down suction cup. You could use the one that we liked from the U-shape from the pole. So the pole one was this, but this one would be this. That's true. And then what? Oh. Wait a minute. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We already have something
For what?
for this.
For that shape or for this glyph?
For that glyph. Did I forget that I did that? Is it in the wrong place?
I thought I remembered us doing a moth, but I then thought maybe I was wrong.
This. Wait a minute. This is supposed to be the moth. right there. That's supposed to be the moth. What the heck?
And it's checked off on our orthography list, right? Or did we not?
It's not.
Oh.
H.
H is to stretch.
Oh no, okay. Okay. Did we... Yeah, that's stretch. Help me out.
So maybe we didn't actually do moth yet, and it was that you were worried because it was the same as to stretch, and so we were talking about... No, wait, I even drew this. Like, what about that square? I said glyph for moth. And I was
Right.
showing it to you, and you said that's basically what I have too. And so did a shape like that end up being created?
We didn't put the line through it.
Oh, did we choose not to?
I don't remember. Well, shoot. Okay, so moth is done. Okay. I'm gonna do some things.
And then that leaves us with seed.
So, What am I showing on the screen right now? Is that, okay, everybody's seeing that? So, NDZ. And then what are these other ones? Tilde and Hungarian umlaut. Can you there. So, we have these three for moth. I'm just going to throw up this poll. Obviously, the top one is much more simplified.
I do remember these. Did we not vote on this?
And the top is the original. I think the idea was that it could be simplified.
I need... need to check some of our words here to see if they made it into the dictionary. Otherwise, once I get this done, we're darn close to having this part of the document cleaned up.
All right, I'm going to close it there. There was a tie between the bottom and the middle one. And I have a slight preference for the bottom one because It's just it differentiates it. But yeah, that's a little bit more like the moth, I think. Don't need those. Okay. It's just TS then. All right. So TS, the issue there was there are 3 possibilities. Did I think they're here. No, those are leaves. Okay. So for seed, Jesse's drawings are, you know, obviously a small, just a small seed, and then acorn, and then this is the helicopter maple seed that I have now seen demonstrated in person. Could actually combine some of these into a glyph. You know, like, so this is obviously something like that. And then yeah, like this could actually be our circle, because if this gets simplified early on to not like doing a full top, but instead just goes like that, that could easily become a circle. Yeah.
Quick question. We had just a root that was listed, 2 roots. One was listed as fast and one is listed as slow. But based on my reading of this, it shouldn't be that they ever meant fast and slow. They should be to be fast or to be slow. Is that correct? Okay.
Yeah, they're all stative verbs. So just writing them as adjectives is a shorthand.
No, I mean, it was fine. It was just like the way it was listed as a bullet point, whereas we had others listed as like to be something. And I needed to understand what I was doing to enter them in the dictionary.
That's also a really good idea, Cinnamon. I think that actually makes a lot of sense. And that'll look like it is somehow related to Angma. I like that. I like that a lot. And we have a third circumflex. And we just need to figure out what the midpoint is. So midpoint of 750 has got to be something 75, right? 375? There we go.
I'm going to say sure as I'm staring at trying to assume that to be fast would be a night class.
That sounds good to me.
To be slow is going to be day class. Because those walkers are slow.
Yeah, because fast is going to be flying, original flying, and slow is going to be original walking.
Yeah.
Okay, now we get to the big question. So this was the easy part. Actually, I'm going to delete some of these to make some room. Here, I'll put one there. And now I can scroll down a bit more. Okay, so this was the easy part. These were the basic consonantal glyphs, and they're done. Now the big question is, what do we do with vowel initial roots, and how do we indicate the vowels themselves? So again, we're only going to be doing a, e, and oo, the original three. And we had this idea of doing like kind of a strong, because remember A is strong, versus weak, which is I and U. And remember that this has to do with stress. Ah always attracts stress. I and U do not. And so originally the idea is if there was an abjad, there wouldn't be any distinction between I and U. It would just be strong versus weak. And then later we built out a way to distinguish I versus U. And so the question is, there's like two routes we can go. Option A will be one is basic, inherent, others marked. B, all three marked. And of course, with option A, which one is basic? Is it going to be that, or is it going to be that? And for this one, all three marked, this is actually going to be marking like this. So strong, weak, and then I versus U. So this distinction is going to be like a diacritic off of a diacritic. And it could be the case that, of course, one of these is basic, and then this one has the extra mark. So that's what we're trying to figure out now. Any thoughts? What's up, Jess? You look puzzled.
We have to switch to swap as rinla, and we mistakenly have it listed as a day. That would be a night. So I fixed it. I was just trying to figure out what was happening.
There we go. Well done.
Thank you. We also did put that there. All right, and then dole.
That doesn't make sense, Magpie. Given the way that our animals have evolved, they would have already been writing at the point in time where they could borrow from anybody. So don't confuse it for me ignoring your point. It's me completely rejecting it. Thank you, Jake.
To be closer, to be nearby. What do you think that verb would be?
It would, Sinowin, yeah. To be close. Mm-hmm. What about it?
Day or night? Walking, flying, big, small?
Close, I would say either small or walking.
I was going to say big because the closer something is to you, the bigger it is.
I was going to say small because the smaller the distance you have to cover.
Oh, okay.
And then walking because it's like you don't have to fly there, you can just walk.
Well, which one do you like better? Well, let me see how they come out with protoforms. Let's see.
Wait, let me,
Okay.
roost. Right. Oh, we don't have a word for tongue? Or berry? Roost starts with U.
Okay, so if it is small, then its final form comes out as tie mie hi. So you get the ie, but one is falling. So tie mie hi, or you get tie me hi without the mie. So it's tie mie hi or tie me hi. Hi.
Hi.
You like that one?
Yeah.
That's what it's going to be then.
There's a larger point here, Magpie. It's doing stuff that makes sense, given the world. And that's always going to take precedence over doing something just because, you think it's neat. At least when I'm working on stuff. East is river?
We shorten long vowels in the suffixes, right? So if it comes out as chi, long, you just do chi. But if it comes out as chie, you leave the chie.
Yes.
Okay.
Did we write that down, that East is river? Is that in our dictionary? It is. Oh, okay. There are these three words that begin with a vowel. Not that we're going to use any of them necessarily, but I just wanted to point out that they're that it's possible.
Okay, so what are we talking about? I think I entered some of the last of our words that have been just bullet listed and never entered.
So, trying to decide what to do with vowel initial forms and then how to create these the actual abugida out of this. And it could be the case that they're not related. Oh, and distinct initial vowel glyphs could be strong vowel and weak vowel plus marking. I think probably the empty makes more sense. Okay, so it's, yeah. Magpie had the idea of not writing initial vowels, and I think that there's a way that that could work. Yeah.
One other
It would
idea.
throw everything off. It would throw everything off because we're having to use this to figure out what the tones and the length is. Now that would throw everything off. Okay, yeah.
I think they're introduced too late though. But one idea was that, because we eventually get a ya and a wa, and if they were slightly earlier, I'd feel more comfortable doing this, where there was sort of an in-between phase where the initial E sound was written as a ya and the U was written as a wa, and that's really the only place that these glyphs are modernly used, is, the ya and wa at the beginning, but those aren't introduced until sound change 13. And that's where, like, adjectival
Well,
inflections, indexing affixes are joining.
the problem is ya and wa come from G and B.
Yeah, no, that's another issue. I thought they were from other sources, and I thought we had 2 rounds of it, but it's only 1. And so the idea I had no longer looks like it makes sense for this system. Because then I was going to say then the initial A could either be unmarked or something. We could also have an empty glyph to represent that there's a vowel at the beginning, but in the beginning abjad, that would just represent there's a vowel and you have to know which vowel.
Yeah.
And so some sort of empty glyph.
No,
And it would make sense for that empty glyph to be from a very common vowel initial word.
yeah. I don't think that we have anything that fits the bill. Nothing concrete anyway. To see is going to be pretty common, but it's
Little eyes.
and should it come from the strong vowel? We also have the word for bat, but we've already got 2 glyphs that are essentially based on a bat.
Yeah. River. Bring back my roost glyph. One.
I just feel like the one that they would
be.
feel like it has to be marked. It's got to be an ah since it's strong.
Well, this could give us an opportunity to create a word for either shadow or fire. Those are 2 roots we needed for my idea for the 4 kingdoms.
I was thinking it also gives us a chance to use some of your unused drawings like tongue and berry, but those aren't super common. Fire, I could see that.
And then, of course, shadow would also be common. So
Yeah. Fire would be easier to make a glyph from.
mm-hmm.
Oh, you're gonna hate this. But like my first thought for what would be good for fire was one of the, just an angled glyph like this. Otherwise, I see two glyphs we have already that look like they could be a glyph for fire. Crap. Is there anything else? Think of some super common words that a bat would use in the early days of batishness. Well, so let me, to show you what I'm working with here. We have this glyph already for R, right? And so you can't really turn that. That would be absurd. But yeah, this looks like fire. It's something else. This could be like a little bonfire, but it's something else. So it's hard to come up with another way of doing fire that isn't already like within this.
Can you? Oh wait, you're looking at it. Okay.
It's just not captured by something we already got. The great thing, they're little brown bats. The great thing for glottal stop and H is that they're weak consonants that sometimes get killed off, and so they can be used for things like this. But we retain both H and glottal stop in initial position, so we can't use those. So we got like a roof of a cave. Tree, hollow, tree. Do we already have a word for tree? We don't have a word for tree. Forest was K. It could be our NDZ one. So remember, we put a line down the middle of this one. Remove the line. That could be a glyph for tree. It'd be a pretty simplified one, but essentially, I don't know, you start with something like something very tree, boop, 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 and it just kind of like goes, or maybe just even like that, and it becomes that. Pretty easy, actually.
So I was looking up nocturnal, because you would think, like especially with other nocturnal animals, but also like I know we already have 2 insect-based glyphs, but that is the primary food source for small brown bats in our area. Apparently, they can eat up to a grape's worth of weight of insects in a night per bat. And so I was just looking to see other things that would be out at night that they would like see with, they would see a lot, and so would probably want words for. And so muskrats, toads, possums, owls.
I think tree is going to be it.
Oh, okay.
So we need a word for tree that begins with an A. Something like árbol.
Did you know that for the American toad, the male American toad, at night, that really loud sound that you hear from them puffing out for their mating call?
Yeah.
Those mating calls are so loud that the toad is equipped with an inner ear membrane to protect itself against deafness from its own mating call.
That is nice. Because, I always wondered what would happen if, like the sounds that we produced for talking were naturally so loud that we couldn't stand them.
Apparently, you would evolve some sort of membrane to make it so you don't go deaf from your own musings.
Frog over there with its membrane. Sucks for all you, Werber.
Okay, so we need an A root is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, something that is very tree.
God, I gotta remember what our proto sounds are.
Oh wait, it's too much.
How about atza?
Ooh, that's a nice word.
And then it comes out as asa. Well, without any class marker.
Should we have something that's stressed on the first syllable? If it ends with an I, it's asie. If it ends in an u, it's asuo.
Oh, I like the oo better.
Okay.
Asuo.
And that was just to pull the stress over to the first syllable. And tree. Big? Or, Okay. How many words should be built off this root?
Well, obviously small could be a sapling or a little tree.
Sapling, okay.
Big could be tree. I feel like their basic tree would be more likely
To just
a
like stay.
deciduous tree.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the coniferous trees are not as likely to house. Their branches aren't. Like
Where-
normally when I see nests, they're in deciduous trees and not coniferous ones.
Where do our little bats roost? Because we determined that it wasn't in caves, right? It was really forests.
Forests and structures. So if there's any structures that are left behind from the humans, like old rotting sheds and barns and houses, they would definitely take those over. Clock towers. But yeah, I mean they do roost in caves. That's not like, it's not like they don't, but like really
These
they would roost
yeah.
anywhere where there's like a shadow, like they roost under bridges, they roost, anywhere where they can tuck themselves away.
Right. So we have human structures, natural structures, tree hollows, wood piles, rocky outcrops, or occasionally caves. Here we go. Species of trees used for roosting include quaking aspen, balsam poplar, oak, and maple. So that
Oak and maple are definitely
they're deciduous.
Deciduous.
Right? Yeah.
Poplar is deciduous, right? The aspen is the one that it is deciduous, but it's an interesting one because
These are gorgeous trees, the quaking aspens.
oh my god, I love them. Do you want to show it? Like you're not showing it on screen.
Yeah, I know. Let's see if I can get it up there.
So like I feel like they would distinguish because like the coniferous trees would have a different feel to them. So I think this would really specifically be yeah, I love those trees. God, when they all turn yellow.
That's Nevada? Nevada, Jesse?
I mean, there are pretty parts of Nevada.
No, there aren't.
Not close to us, but
But yeah, gorgeous tree. All right, so all right, so here's my thought then. At the moment, let's just call the basic one with no modification our basic word for trees. That's azul, and probably whatever. If it's probably going to be big, so it'd probably be day class, I'm guessing, and then
I think it was
the
like
the
that.
small one is asuohi, which is pretty cool for sapling. Okay.
Okay, so just a second.
Right now I'm just watching you tippity type. Yeah.
All right, so the basic was just azul, and then
Day class.
day class. Okay, just a second. I'll fix that. I won't fix it that way. Okay, what was the next one?
Asuohi. And so that's the small, and that's low tone on the A. Okay. So yeah, it's plus the small one.
Right. It's hitting the wrong thing. That would be why.
You just copy that from somewhere.
I know, but where? Ihi, I think? Yeah, it's Ihi. Okay.
I thought we would have used that one more.
Good thing we... Okay, and that would make it day class.
Yeah.
So he, okay.
And then that's a sapling.
And then what else did we?
I gotcha. Nope.
I already had it. I'm gonna take away your sapling. Don't touch anything.
All right.
What other? I feel like you had mentioned one more would be built off it, or was that it?
No, that's it for right now because I can't think
Okay.
of anything else unless anybody had any good ideas in the comments or if you had any ideas. If you had a specific idea for like a way that you felt like what non-deciduous trees or conifers, evergreens, what are they?
Coniferous.
Coniferous. Unless you had an idea for building off of that for a coniferous tree. I didn't have any that jumped to mind. Okay. All right. So we now have, sorry. We now have this for initial maybe, or at some point, right? And so then we also have this question. Should unmarked equal strong? Because the funny thing is, if they built the strong mark off of this, the most natural thing that it would be that, but we already used that. And then there's the question. Does marking, is it going to occur here, 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 or some combination thereof? I would have considered putting a dot under this as the trunk if the dot had one for the head glyph, but it didn't. The chevron one. I think Karis has an interesting idea, but like, instead of doing that, we want to try to combine these in some way. This one I don't know about, but I think we're gonna start combining these and see how much trouble we can get into.
Okay, so we had some forms just listed as roots not used that we had come up with, and we just never did anything with them.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you feel about one of them is Ahmut, if that were shadow, and if we used it in the small class, it comes out as Ahmutye for shadow, and that would be like the small class.
I like that.
And then if we put shadow, because a shadow is a kind of small version of the thing. If we put shadow into the flying class, that would then be the kingdom. Ahmutra. Could also take out the H and just make it Amut. Do you like the Ahmut?
Yeah.
You like the Ah? Okay.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
All right. We're about...
And then Kitu could be fire. And if you put that in the big class, because I think fire is a big deal, right? Kie duola. Or it could be in the walking class.
We're about to get into some silly nonsense.
If it's walking, then it's kie dohi. What, do you like either of those for fire?
Say them again.
Kie duola. Kie dohi. Or just kie du with no marking because it's fire. Ahmut with no marking would be Ahmut.
Fire with no marking.
Fire with no marking, but shadow with marking.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then some are some suggesting some ideas for what for things that could be built off of it, off of fire.
Okay.
300. Let's go. Ah, yes, here comes some silly nonsense. I'm going to put this up here so that I have access to it. That is a tight clearance right there. Good Lord. What do we got? 585 there and 600 there. That is a 15-point clearance. This is reminiscent of Vietnamese and their many, many accent marks.
What class did you want fire to belong in? Since there's no marking, it can belong in any class.
To which one? Fire?
Yeah.
Day.
Day?
Yeah, day class. So Unlucky 8 said flying fire being a poetic word for a firefly or the sun would be cool, but I was thinking actually just taking the base word for fire and putting small on it. That could be a firefly. Or flying. But wait, what was the...
I needed to focus first on just getting them entered.
Sorry, yeah, go for it, go for it. So yeah, this is absolutely happening. And we seem to be missing some.
Okay, so first to just say what's going to be taken. Fire with the flying class is going to be the word for comet, which was
Got it. Which is
the whole reason we did this.
Exactly. Yeah. Right.
And so, chiedora.
Oh, darn it. This is going to throw everything off.
Chiedo.
I had the N glyphs misdone. So now N is in a funky spot. It's my bad. But I think you'll be pleased when you see what I'm going to do. Okay, that goes there. And this goes... What is that? 300? Yeah. Look at that. Loopsy doodle. Oh, Patrick, every so often you say something so funny that it makes me almost regret taking away your moderatorship. Oh, and so K is definitely going to do this.
What?
Uh, 29, 1, 2, 5. Uh-oh. Good. And now 300, that's 250. They're supposed to be 300 apart, aren't they? Yeah, 300. These look a lot wider than the others, but you know.
Okay.
Well, that's a funky idea. I'll think about that. Ooh, get ready. Get ready for this dipsy doodle. I apologize, Jess. You're doing the hard work over there, and I'm just having fun.
I'm trying to find all the fire comments, and so I see that walking fire could potentially be used for like a spark or a wildfire. Very different justifications. I think that was it because the flying fire was already taken.
Yeah.
And so that was not going to be an option.
So
Okay, I've got those pulled up. I'll figure that out in a second.
Okay, so in terms of stroke order, my thought is that this one would go, you know, like that, as opposed to, I don't know. Greetings from Connecticut. Oh, Bibluridian has hit landfall in the United States. The thunder of his footsteps are quaking on our shores. I wonder, you know, if since you're on the East Coast, you could go visit Jonathan over in Baltimore.
This is going to be specific to their racing culture, but the whole, I'm trying to, okay, so Ahmutra, which is a flying shadow, is I'm defining as a tailgater in the sense of following someone closely, or one utilizing the drafting or slipstreaming method of racing, and that's where you like catch the good air right behind another person,
Yeah.
and then wait to whoosh around,
I like
kind of
that.
at the last minute. But like that's a really hard term to define, and it makes sense that they would have this kind of word in their little batty racy culture.
No, I think it's great. I think it's perfect.
But like, is there another word I should throw in there to be able to find it? Like,
Just as long as you've got drafting and tailgating in there.
and slipstream. That's another.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So. Got Mudra, and then I think I already entered Comet.
All right, a little poll there.
6, 7, 8. 8. It is key.
And just so everybody sees what we're talking about, this versus this.
Oops. C entry for sure on tailgater. What are we voting on? Ooh, oh my. Oh my, oh my.
In terms of the flow of writing, I think the top makes the most sense.
Yeah.
I just wanted to put together the bottom just to kind of see.
Because you would make that vertical and then... Okay, so now we've got...
All right, then. We'll just keep that as an also ran. And you know what, Jess?
It's time to celebrate.
It sure is time to celebrate.
What are we thinking waiting this long?
I am really looking forward to this. I went to my barber yesterday, who always has hard candy out. Often has Copico. Did not have it this time. Instead, had these candies that looked like butterscotches. So I took one. And I realized quite quickly, oh, this isn't a butterscotch. It tastes like orange. And I was like, well, that's pleasant. It's an orange hard candy. And then, I was, sucking on it, walking back, come up, having a conversation with Jessie as the hard candy, it's doing its thing. And then suddenly, like mid-word, I hit the center of this hard candy. And it is liquid, and it is basically pure sour. Just pure sour. Now, there was no writing or branding or anything on the outside of this hard candy. It was just like in a clear wrapper. I had no idea what it was. But it was unbearable. Unbearable.
Like, I literally thought David was dying, and I kept asking.
It was so sad.
Because my first assumption was, oh, it's the candy, you don't like it. But then it kept getting worse, and like his reaction kept getting worse. And I was like, oh my God, it's not the candy. I'm watching my husband slowly die as he's pacing back and forth. And I'm like, should I still be over here? Because I was rowing at the time, and I was like, should I still be doing this, or should I be over there like pounding on his back and giving him CPR?
Yeah.
It took him longer than I would like for him to answer that it was indeed just the candy.
Yeah. And it's like, of course, Jessie said, well, spit it out, which makes sense, right? If you think it's just a hard candy in there, but it was liquid. Like, it had coated everything. I was totally unprepared for it. And I would, tell you what it was. But like I said, there was no writing at all on the outside of the candy. So I have no idea what it was. Anyway, really looking forward to this. Cheers.
Cheers. And also in the future, maybe don't grab unmarked candy, not knowing what it is, David.
Well,
Especially knowing you don't like anything of a certain variety, and sour candies are actually quite popular.
oh, God.
So,
It's crazy. Copico tells you what it is right on the package. Oh, it's so good. Oh, my God. Oh, I love this. Oh, I'm so happy. Okay.
all right.
It did feel a little backwards to me, Anime. I am very familiar with the type of candy that's quite popular here in America, where there is like a coating of sour on the outside, and then as you suck through it, then you get to the sweet part, and that's like your reward. It was a little kick in the teeth at the end. So that's what you get. And liquid too, so you couldn't spit it out effectively. Maybe that's what the candy was called. Karma Police. All right, looking at the rest of these, some of these are going to be quite tough. Yeah, this is where things are going to get interesting. I'm going to do an A and a B for this. I think I have an idea, but I want to see how it's going to look going the other way. Actually, I may do an A, a B, and a C for this. That's ridiculous. Yeah, we're definitely going to need. Okay. And then dot and ring. Oh boy. Okay, I'm going to do all right. What do you prefer for NDA? Top, middle, bottom, something else, explain. All right. And then when you have a minute, I'd love your input on this too, Jess.
Just a second. Again, for writing, making sensory, the middle one. Top one in a font face is fine because, the line can touch every time.
Well, I mean,
But it makes sense to me to...
essentially the top one is just writing it because there already wasn't a space. The middle one is shortening it specifically for the font so that you can see space. But I think that
it feels better writing it. One of those top two.
Yeah, I think everybody agrees with you too. Yeah, basically Jonathan said exactly what I was thinking. Middle and top seem equivalent writing wise, but the closeness is odd to me. Yeah. All right. I don't mind citrus in salads. I think it can be nice. I think there's a certain type of salad, right, that has little mandarins in it, just standard. Like tiny little mandarin slices.
Yeah, the Chinese chicken salad or the Asian salad is the one you're thinking of.
Yeah. Ooh, here we go. Here we go.
Oh, mandarin salad, yeah.
Oh boy. Oh, Jonathan, what do we think of this? Well, it's like I can move this line over 50 so that, actually 60, so that it meets up with that. But then there's even less space between this. That little chevron is just getting us. All right, let me see what this looks like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Okay, so I need the habitual and then add key.
I mean, yeah, that's the other option, is to move the circumflex. It's rough stuff. Well, I guess. All right. I don't think this one should be moved though, because its entire environment is still there. All right, what do we got left? Whew, don't know what to do with that. Don't know what to do with that.
Okay.
All right. What would everybody think of this? All right, so we got this glyph, right? Looks like it's straight out of Jacobsa. We've also got this that I don't really know what to do with. Could do that. What else have we got? This shape. We got this. That's pretty awkward. I don't know. 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 How do you do that emoji? That wacky-eyed emoji.
Right.
We got this. That's. Oh.
I'm all this time trying to add at least another example to the relative clause. This is how long it's taking me because I don't actually know how this works.
Mm-hmm. Magpie saying M shape with the line going through both for the A-like one. Problem is they're separate heights. You just make that one a totally different glyph. That's actually kind of interesting. Okay, I'm going to do this one because this one's easy. Don't need to think about that. Okay, so that one's done. Now, let's try Magpie's Miracle 2. Where Magpie's Miracle 2, this time it's actually Magpies. 50, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because that's already 300. Interesting. And that'll make it like a little quirk of the system. Yeah. It's funky. I like that. All right, now, that. I feel like the midline is actually the last one you do, so it makes sense that that one, in this case, is the breaker. No! See this stuff? See this stuff? That's the very, very specific stuff you've got to get right. Otherwise, the font will just look sloppy and unprofessional. All right, 3 more. Na, ta, and glottal stop. So glottal stop is that. Ta is that. And nga is that. Goodness. Now, Jake was suggesting to do it more like Devanagari, so just kind of add it. In other words, like it doesn't naturally flow, so don't try to make it. And In this case, I think it makes sense for this glyph. We'll see as we go to the other two.
Okay, David.
Yes.
When you're ready, I have...
Yeah, so it's just going to be separate. Now the question, should I keep the dip there or should I flatten it? If you keep the dip, it really emphasizes the direction, the stroke order. What the hell happened? What the? Oh my! Ah! Ah! How did the? Is it? It's going in. It's going in. Okay, that. Oh, woo! That was the worst thing. Oh my God. Okay. Ooh. Okay, that's settled. All right. Yes.
Okay, I think I'm ready for you to look at two direct object relative clause examples.
Okay.
To make sure they're right. One where the noun being modified is, well, they're both the noun being modified as the direct object of the matrix clause. But in one, the direct object of the matrix clause is the subject of the relative clause. And I had to change the verb because originally I had the verb fell, like the bat crushed the seed that fell. But the way this language works, I think that would be marked like an object because...
Oh yeah, we had see and boop that we used above.
Right, and I wanted a verb that didn't take a direct object. I wanted a verb where the seed would be the subject and marked grammatically as the primary argument, not marked with the E marker.
I must be looking at the wrong one then.
The two direct object? Shnikey. These two, what I've been working on.
So there's the E. Okay.
Because the whole point is I wanted them playing different grammatical roles because we have this thing where it's like you can use gap structure, but you're more likely to use gap structure when the object being modified plays the same grammatical role inside the relative clause. So I wanted to show here, this oni is less likely to be deleted because it's the subject of the relative clause, but marked as the E argument of the matrix clause.
Okay.
Whereas here, they're both in the same grammatical case, so this one you're more likely to delete.
I don't remember these words. What is this one?
To be close or to be nearby.
And what's this?
It.
Oh, okay.
But it's the subject, and so its case marking is different from the object case marking.
Oh, okay. Because this one it's the subject and this one it's the object.
Yeah.
Do you think it would be necessary?
Okay. So hence
when the two nouns play the same syntactic role in both
is
the matrix.
More likely. So you could delete it, but it's less likely to be deleted, whereas this one is less likely to be included. And so I didn't know, it's if we want to have a different way of marking where it's you could delete it and it's understandable, but you're more likely to have this one than you are this one.
Yeah. Yeah, this one definitely, I feel like this would almost be ungrammatical for this, like to include it.
Right.
With this one, I don't know, since there's only one argument there. Man, I feel like I don't have enough of a sense of it. My head is telling me, no, my heart is telling me there's only one possible argument here, so you don't need this.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if that's interference from other languages, or you know what I'm saying?
Whereas, so one thing we were trying to show up here, which I'm not sure is entirely showing, is one of the reasons you keep this one is to kind of wrap up this clause.
Right.
Because this is part of the matrix
Sure,
clause.
yeah. Otherwise, it would be confusing.
Yeah, but if they play the same role, or if it comes at the end of the clause structure
Yeah.
anyway.
Which it would here. Right.
Now, if we followed that with a locative argument, like the bat crushed the seed that was nearby in the forest, and you wanted in the forest to be where the crushing took place.
I think that would still be ambiguous, though.
Because, yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
So anyway, it was just...
Yeah. No, it's good. Great work, though. My goodness.
So we may want to rethink how we write that, where it's like, really, do we want it to actually be omitted more often than not? Or do we just want to say, like, it's really the times that it's kept in is when it's immediately followed by the same argument structure, but for the matrix verb, and like then it's more likely to be there, but again, not necessary, because we do that all the time in English, where it's you actually have to follow the intonation patterns to be able to figure out where the break is.
Yeah.
But like one thing what I was trying to express to you was my original sentence, and for anyone at home watching,
Yes.
you may have seen that my original sentence was the bat crushed the seed that fell, where yes, it's the subject, but it would be marked
But
as
then
the
we had
object
that, yeah.
because of the way that this language
Exactly.
works. And so like I wanted it to be oni versus ini, because it's like this was the subject argument of this verb. Do you know, in my crossword puzzle today, well, one of them, I actually did quite a few of them today, because they released a Ted Lasso pack,
Oh.
and it was like a special puzzle pack all based on Ted Lasso, so like I had extra puzzles, and I did all of them because they were great fun for me. Anyway, in one of them, it was like something about, the clue itself was like, a cow's utterance or something like that. But like as soon as I saw it, I just read it as the crow's utterance. And so I was trying to figure out how in this space caw would work. And I'm like, but the vowel has to be an O based on the across. And I'm trying to figure out like, what the heck kind of noises do their crows make that it has an O in it? And then I looked at the clue again and realized it said cow. And yeah, a cow's utterance, Danielle. Yes. You win. And hello, Aaron. You're just in time to see us finish up and say goodbye.
I have no ideas for this other than this. That's it. That's my only idea. So I'm just going to do it. And I have a feeling that our poll is going to be this last character.
Woo!
Because I've got like 5 different ideas. And all of them are terrible. And so we're gonna mock them up. Oh my God.
Okay, I've fixed our relative clause. What were you laughing at?
Oh, don't worry about it.
Okay.
You're going to see. Okay, so this needs to go up to that, which is 650.
Oh. The next page of my notebook was what I used for the
Oh,
thingy.
our recent LangTime chat.
LangTime chat episode drop if you weren't aware and you're a patron and want to be aware. There was one.
Burmese is
Very
lovely,
exciting.
by the way. I really do like Burmese. Okay. Now next.
Next, we're going to work towards being ready to move on.
I know what time it is. Just 1 second.
I've got a Ted Lasso to watch while I row.
This is so unbelievably ridiculous.
I'm glad that Jake, you had mentioned that my descriptions helped, and I'm really glad to hear that, because part of me was like, as I was describing it, I'm like, oh goodness, I might just be losing anyone who doesn't know much about this sport and who doesn't, keep up with it. But I really am very excited about the new Women's Pro Baseball League here in the U.S. I know it's starting small, but I really, really hope it catches on, and I hope that maybe they someday start playing in more places than one stadium, so we can actually go to a game more easily. And LA Queens! Also, we have a game starting in 26 minutes, which I thought I was going to get to watch after I rode, but now I'm going to miss the probably first inning of the game.
Hang on a sec.
Since David is still going.
Hang on a sec.
Today it will be the San Francisco Firebells versus the New York Heights. We'll see how they match up.
Okay. Okay, hang on. All right. You see what I'm doing? Do you see what I'm doing?
Get rid of my screen so that way we can just look at what you're doing, because I'm done. I'm done for the day.
Okay. Good Lord. All right. This isn't even necessarily all of them, but...
Woo-wee! Okay, one of these I do not like.
Which one?
Well, make them big first and on the screen. There we go. Oh, it looks better big. I'm not a huge fan of the middle, too. The second one looks better big. When it was small, it looked like just a bit of a mess to think about writing it. But as it's big, I can, and I'm playing out with my finger on the
It makes a lot
here.
more sense when you write.
Yeah. The last one doesn't make a lot of sense given directionality of
Not
writing.
at all. Not at all.
I'm not super stoked about that. Although it looks kind of cool. I mean, it looks cool. I just think that directionality is weird. The third one, I'm not a fan of the shape, but it at least makes sense. So really, I'm down to like I can handle the second one, and the first one I can do.
There might be more coming. There will be more coming.
Good, because I would like to veto the third one, and then the fourth one, just based on the logic of the system, I would like to veto. But I would like to say that I have nothing against the glyph itself.
By the way, this is glottal stop. Just FYI. So this is glottal stop followed by A.
My goodness.
Which means I believe that the word by itself, glottal stop followed by A, is just a hit. So one of these is just going to be to hit.
All right.
Oh my goodness.
Off we go, David.
All right.
Let's get going.
Okay. We're all doing fine, Aaron. Don't worry. I asked everybody individually, and they all said that they were fine. So stay grammar, everybody. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time.
Until then, stay grammar.
Bye, everybody.